Let's do some mic checks. Lorenzo.
Can you
just mute my mic every few minutes so I can eat chips?
No.
Hello, welcome to the QC Skits podcast. I'm your host and president of QC Skits, Lorenzo Walton. And then to my left, I have Secretary of QC Skits, Drew Covert.
Hey, Lorenzo, how are you doing? You having a good week?
You know, my week's happening. I almost said something bad about African people. Next to Drew, we have...
Oh, no, hang on. Let's dive into that for a second. So you had a bad thought about African people. You can't speak until you're introduced. Neither can you.
Neither of you are allowed to speak.
Can we start this over? I just feel like...
Shut the fuck up. What are you doing? You just acknowledged that you can't talk before you're introduced. We're not starting this over. We are pounding through. We're like a fullback going through the Dolphins D.
How long can we not talk?
Apparently, for as long as you fucking want. Anyways, Lorenzo, what are your thoughts on African people?
You know... I want to burn Janae's braids.
Who's Janae? You should introduce.
Speaking of Janae, she's here.
Hi.
And then we have our special guest, in-house African, Sabina Kimaru.
I'm shaking my head, by the way.
People can't hear that.
Well, I just told them. They can imagine it.
No, they can't.
A mispronunciation of
Think
my
about
name.
who's listening to this podcast. It's a bunch of dumb fucks. You really think they'll be able to visualize?
QC Skits fans are big, smart people.
Smart people.
2 people.
So they're like too fat to be able to go to anything else.
We're going to have to cut all of this out. Okay, let's talk about what QC Skits is up to. What's QC Skits up to, guys? All right, let's get to the next segment.
We're working on a video that will probably never see the light of day.
Always are.
Always.
All of them.
All of them.
Okay.
Especially yours.
You know what? I don't know what's going on with you these days.
What's going on with me personally?
You're just an angry man.
Why wouldn't I be an angry man?
I don't know.
Okay, we're going to get to our first segment of the week, and it's called Headlines. Where
I
us
have
QC...
one.
But it's okay, Janae, because you always go first, and we don't want to just put that pressure.
Let's switch it up.
Switch it up.
Literally fuck off.
I'm going to go first. And my story, as you guys know, Headlines, we give you guys the news presented by us, QC Skits. And it gets really dark. So I'm going to start it off by, there's a story about a stolen dog returned to Texas after 3 years. He had a 1,700-mile journey, and people are loving this dog. Fuck you, Janae. We're going to go to the next story.
Is that part of the article?
It says fuck you, Janae, in the headline. It was really weird.
That's very
Mine
crazy.
is a lot.
No one asked, Janae. We're going to go to Drew.
No, but we still have to cover this. So I got to be honest. I was reading about mine. I didn't hear any of it. So let's not cover it in that case.
Okay, so my news story is about an animal. Lorenzo stole my goddamn idea. But this news story is about a disfigured cub who was
How could it be stolen your idea when he went first?
He's got a good point.
You guys don't even know what happened before the microphones came on, okay?
No, we know.
We know.
We know.
So anyways, this little bear called Nyan Hutu had to do 4-hour emergency surgery because its tongue grew so big that it was dragging on the floor. Like it had swollen up to so big and he could barely function. And so they had to cut his tongue out. And now he's all better.
After 3 years and 1,700 miles, a Texas dog is finally back home after she was stolen from a homeless woman.
Who cares?
I didn't think it was from a homeless woman. That really lessens the story. How did they know?
Because it's like, who cares?
How does that lessen the story? It was still stolen.
Usually when people return a dog, it's to like a middle-class white woman. And people are like, oh my God, you got your dog back.
Have you seen that Judge Judy clip where they had the dog in the courtroom and she's like, Judge Judy's like, put the dog down, let's see who it belongs to, because they thought that it was stolen. And the dog runs to its owner and not the person that had stolen the dog. It was really cute. You should watch it.
That seems like a fucked up way to figure it out.
On Doug Benson's High Court. Very similar. That I can't believe that show existed. It was a show where someone would get, Doug Benson specifically, would get high as hell and then make legally binding decisions on open cases. And like these people just had to go with the decision made by someone who just got high.
And what
3 minutes ago?
What qualifications did he have?
None.
Of course, makes sense.
He's funny and he has a big name, so he deserved a TV show. And he's like, why not delve into some judiciaries?
Speaking of judiciaries, Drew, tell us about your story.
My story has nothing to do with judiciaries. Rather, let's move to the legislative branch.
Same thing.
No, not the same. You see, because legislative branch writes the laws.
Yeah.
And then the judiciary branch judges the laws based on whether or not they're constitutional.
My microphone is very high.
Mine kind of is, but I didn't want to touch it.
It's not really your microphones; it's your pop filters. We're not here to discuss that.
Drew, tell us about
there's this man named
the judicial branch.
There's this man named Bob Corker. Have you ever heard of him?
Nope.
Anybody here ever heard of him?
Don't watch the news.
I'm not gonna lie. Never heard about him until this happened. But he's a Republican congressman from, I believe it is.
I already don't like him.
I believe it's Florida.
Don't like him.
Might be Louisiana, actually. Let me check.
Even worse. This guy just keeps getting worse.
Tennessee. He's a Republican from Tennessee.
Hell no.
And he announced recently that he's going to retire. So he realized he doesn't have to go out and get votes anymore. So he's just decided to take the rest of his time to talk shit to Donald Trump.
Interesting choice.
Because he doesn't have to align to his party anymore. He's out the door. He's retiring. Mm-hmm. So he's like calling Donald Trump a liar, and then Trump immediately went back with his like basic well, you're bad at this, you never succeeded at this, you're a failure. And he said, this sounds about right coming from a fucking liar.
You at first said talking shit to Donald Trump, and I was like, wait, talking shit about what?
He was calling him dishonest.
So he's talking shit about Donald Trump?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's a Republican, but he doesn't care that he's Republican.
A lot of Republicans don't like Donald Trump, but they just have to go with it.
I'm going to have to say some, not a lot.
You like really fucked up your mic.
That's because I told you it was too high.
So you broke it.
Yes.
That makes a lot of sense.
So but wait, Lorenzo, is he getting any repercussions for talking shit? Like,
no, none at all. Besides Donald Trump talking shit to him on Twitter. But like, this is when it's going to get dicey. Is when Republicans don't even want to stand by Donald Trump anymore. No. Like,
so do you think Donald Trump will make it 4 terms? I know we're not a political. Did I say 4 terms? I meant 4 years. I know we're not a political podcast. And we swore that we wouldn't talk too much Donald Trump.
Because we have that competition, right?
I don't know what the hell she's talking about.
People that were going to take our idea.
Oh, yeah, the fucking leftists.
Oh, yeah, those fucking leftists. Anyways.
Where do we... Keep going.
I thought at first that Donald Trump wasn't going to even run a second term, and I think that's still possible because, especially depending on who the Democrats nominate, and even then, he'll probably be contested in the Republican Party. Someone's probably gonna. I think who's a frat? I think John Kasich has thrown his name in there about possibly contesting him, and then a bunch of no names have done it too, but. I think there's a good chance that he just says, you know what, I did it. I did what I said I was going to do. I'm going to make America great and then just bow out. But I think I don't see a world where he gets to a second term, and I don't really see one where he doesn't complete his first term unless he dies. Because that man does not look healthy at all.
You shouldn't say that on the internet.
I'm not saying I'm not being a proponent for assassinating the president. I wasn't even talking about assassinations, but that man is.
You are.
That man's he's old.
I mean to get
he's
you
old.
Can't
say, he's the oldest president. He's the oldest president we've ever had.
You can't
which
say
is
I
ridiculous
wasn't talk about assassination.
But it's ridiculous because we've had a lot of old farts, and he's by like a few good years, he's by far the oldest.
Donald Trump?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought
he
Reagan was.
No, it's Donald Trump.
George Washington looks old, but I think it's because of the pictures.
It's the wig.
It's the wig. It's that black and white, too.
The wooden
and
teeth.
people just looked old back then.
Yeah.
like
because they were
earlier.
dying all the time.
They didn't have good facial products.
No Olay.
Nothing. Donald Trump, he's got all that. He's still dying.
Yeah.
He doesn't
You guys
utilize
saw that
it.
picture of him getting tan, a spray tan? I don't know if that was real, but it was hilarious. They had like taken a picture of Donald Trump getting spray tan in like the Oval Office or something.
Yeah, I don't think that's real.
Sounds
It was
Photoshop.
still funny to think of.
That's true.
Sabina, what news story you bring?
Can I also say something else? Today,
Is this the interrupting?
it has to deal with Donald Trump.
It's the
Okay, so I
interrupting.
went to this meeting with my Judaism teacher, professor, the one I said I was going to beat her ass. I
You told
did
me
not.
that.
I kissed her ass. And
Interesting switch.
And like, I'm just a normal black girl, and she's a Jewish woman, and she's
A lot
like,
of connections.
talking to
I think
me.
I've seen this video.
She's talking to me about like my grades, and then she suddenly swerves and starts talking about black people and racism and Donald Trump, and I'm just like, girl, where is this going? She was
She's
like,
trying to
I love
relate
your
to you.
hair, but like, can I touch it? I know, like, as a white woman, I shouldn't touch it, right? And I was like, what is happening? She's like, I love
Wait,
the
so-
blacks, basically.
So she was like, I know that that's like a thing that people get bothered, but can I do it anyways?
Right? I'm like,
I keep like messing up my mic. My
your
apologies.
cord was-
Maybe
She's
she
like-
was afraid you would beat her up, so she was trying to get on her good side.
probably.
She was like, "Ooh, you look angry."
It's
Little does
just
she know
like,
that Janae can't fight worth anything.
But she doesn't know that by looking at her.
Exactly.
my thing is like, if you're a white person and you're not racist, just
Just say,
treat us
"Oh
like
wait, I'm
normal
not
people.
racist."
Or you
Right.
could
You don't
just wear
have
a
to
sign
like
that
prove to
says
me that you're not
Exactly.
racist. She was like, "Oh, I'm a rabbi and I did this like thing
I
about
can't be
black
racist. I'm a
people."
rabbi.
I was like,
Wait.
"Girl, this is a lot."
So did you get your grade changed?
I did not.
She finessed you. That's what happened.
Yeah, she really fucking did. She twisted it all around.
You were like, "Oh no, it's okay."
But that was my story. Back to Sabina.
Sabina, news story. What you got?
But hang on, because
You know what? This feels very racial. You know,
we're doing it to all people. We did it to
Have
Alex.
you listened to our podcast?
Why did you listen?
Save that. That's my rant. Save it for the rants.
I told you that in confidence. Gosh darn it.
Sabina, headline. What you got? Hit us with it.
Okay.
Oh my God, this is
the
why we
fuck?
interrupted you.
Go ahead.
What the
This is
hell?
why we were interrupting you.
I'm sorry. Okay.
She
US
just says, okay, and then immediately gets out her phone without saying a single word.
Right.
Just for those of you who had no idea what the hell was going on. Because it was all of you. All of you, no idea. Take it away, Sabina.
U.S. must let undocumented teenager get an abortion, appeals court says. She was already 9 weeks into her first trimester by the time she learned she was pregnant. And by then, she was already in federal custody at the border in Texas, one of the multitude of unaccompanied minors caught trying to enter the United States without their parents or relatives. She was 17 years old.
Why did they want her to get an abortion?
Because she was like here illegally, I guess. I think.
So doctors can't treat. I'm so
They can't,
confused.
I think. If
It
they
sounds-
know,
It
It sounds
if they
more
know,
so
you
like
can't.
she was trying to get an abortion, well, in a bobo,
A
and the
bobo.
courts were saying no, and now it flipped.
Honestly, can you repeat that? Because that was about to be fire. She about to get a bobo, but the court said no.
Kick her off the podcast.
Why haven't we?
Okay, first of all, I want to say I took a pregnancy test last night. I'm not pregnant, unfortunately.
Shouts out, shouts out.
Thank you. Second of all, that's really
Second
fucked
of
up.
all.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
really fucked up.
Oh yeah. It's very fucked up.
It's really fucked up. They didn't use the word bobo. Like that word
Right.
isn't coined in the English language.
Exactly.
It is.
They don't need to be
Yes.
going out here using this slang, abortion.
Right. Who even knows what that is these days?
It's
That's a damn
2017.
leftist.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm sweating a lot. I don't know why.
I feel like that leftist thing is one of those things that we have to explain every time
episode.
we do it. We can't just be talking, fuck the left.
No, we can.
Okay, yeah.
People will keep up.
Because it's true, really.
If you
Fuck
watch
the
every,
leftists.
if you listen to every episode at home, people, you know what's going on. We got beef,
With the
and we're gonna
leftists.
keep beefing. Look, Janae, you had an abobo. Tell us what would happen if they didn't let you get one. How would you feel?
If they-
At 17,
17.
illegal, no parents. Man, it just gets worse for this kid.
If they
She's pregnant,
didn't-
illegal.
If they didn't let me get one, I would probably kill myself.
Before or after?
Before, I would stab myself in the belly.
Yeah.
Stab myself in the belly, multiple times, and kill myself and the baby.
Little Red Wedding, Game of Thrones.
I don't know how I feel about this.
But it's not the baby's fault.
I don't give a shit about that goddamn little organism, that stem cell.
The baby's not out yet, so technically it's not the baby's fault. Wait.
I thought you were going to say technically it's not a baby because it's still. Okay.
Exactly.
Let's get into it. Why do you? So you think it's not a baby?
No, I didn't say that. I said I thought that was.
You
what
think
he
it
was
is
gonna
a
say.
baby?
You think it is a baby?
Okay,
I'm
my
still
question is, if
deciding
you
what
have an
to
egg,
use.
right, and you're gonna be making eggs for breakfast, are you eating a baby or are you eating delicious eggs?
You're actually
But that's not our
eating
species, so that's
periods.
not.
I'm
my
eating
business.
periods.
Yeah, chicken eggs are their period.
Then how do
the
they?
eggs that we eat are periods.
How do they grow up to be?
That sounds
chicks?
delicious.
So it has to be fertilized, and those eggs are not fertilized.
How do you
If you
fertilize
took-
an egg?
If you took my eggs, I'm sure you could eat them, fry them up. But if it's fertilized,
But they're very small. Like our eggs are minuscule.
caviar. Hello.
I guess.
If you fertilize
Hello,
it, then yeah,
it's
it's probably
caviar.
gonna turn into a baby. But what we're eating is like when women go on their period, they have that egg that gets released, and chickens
So
are
it's
releasing
dead.
eggs.
Like
I had
the
no
dead
idea.
egg.
Yeah, you're eating chicken period, not chicken fetus.
Delicious.
I
Mwah.
thought chickens had red blood.
Let's move on to our next to make it.
Have you ever heard that story about that family who like cracked open an egg, but there was like this deformed like bird fetus in
That
it?
sounds awful.
And then they raised it and it was like their pet.
Ew.
I want to see the story.
There's
Do
a
they
good
have
chance
video?
I'm making all of this up. I don't
man.
really know.
I was so excited.
All I can imagine is the chicken from Moana that's like really stupid coming out.
We got gross, guys.
All I
Are we
imagine
gonna
is-
keep it? Are we gonna cut it?
Have you ever seen that
Nobody knows.
IBM? Have you ever seen that IBM commercial where it's like that ugly beast, but it's like unique because it has peacock feathers?
No.
Never mind.
I don't watch commercials.
Shouts on Netflix.
commercials.
As you guys know, we are an irascible group. Look,
Janae.
I need to do this clean.
Ooh,
I
what
need
was
to do
that
this
commercial?
clean.
Adjective that you used.
Exactly. You have to.
Irascible?
Honestly, if you were here since the first episode, you would know.
You would know at home. You people playing at home, you know what irascible.
Lord.
Can I go
My
first,
head in
Lorenzo?
shame.
I really want to go first.
I need to
Rant
get it
today,
out.
so.
Need to get it out. As you guys know, we are an irascible group, and fuck, Drew, you can go first. We got rants, people. 30 seconds on the
Set
clock.
up the timer, dum dum.
He really is a dum-dum.
Right, just a dum 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 dum.
All right, guys, that's the podcast. Thanks for listening. Cut it out.
Cut it.
I'm trying to find my timer.
Are we gonna
Okay,
have
got it.
any? Okay.
Okay. All right, Drew. 30 seconds on the clock. Are you ready?
Yeah.
And away we go.
So this unknown person comes up to us
Oh Lord.
Us.
and says, I want to be a part of the podcast. So they come in, they sit down, I'm setting up. They go, wait, so like what goes on this podcast? Turns out this person never listened to the podcast. They reach out to us asking to be on the podcast, never knowing what's going on in the podcast. And then when I told this unknown person, let's call them Katrina, they were
That's 30
bitching.
seconds.
They
That's
were
30 seconds. That's 30 seconds.
Lorenzo,
What a great
I'm no
podcast.
longer ranting, but they were bitching about how much stuff they had.
I like
to
how
do.
you just changed your tone slightly.
No, that's a lie.
Well,
It's a
Sabina,
alleged
Sabina.
lie.
It wasn't about
Alleged
you.
lie.
We're talking about Katrina Sabina.
This isn't
No,
you,
I
Sabina.
think I overheard their conversation. You know, it was an alleged lie. That wasn't even.
Alleged
Okay,
lie.
I'ma be quiet
You're
now.
alleging that it's a lie.
Are we surprised though? Because the first
be
words
quiet.
that came out of Katrina's mouth were "We're not funny at all."
I
Throwback
think it was
TBT.
hello, but you know, that's also, you know, up for debate.
You know, I'm actually kind of gonna say that this happens with almost every guest. All these people trying to get on the
Alex
show.
knows what's up.
And
Alex
they don't even
knows.
listen.
Who else knows?
Who's
Kempson knows, but
because we've had two.
David knows.
oh, that's right. We did have Zambrano didn't know.
Zambrano's a tool.
Yeah, but David didn't know because he keeps coming back.
Call that? Can we call this episode "Zambrano's a Tool"?
Yeah.
How about every episode? The name of the episode is just us insulting a member of QC Skits that's not on the podcast.
Yeah, fuck Katrina. Sabina, are you ready for your rant?
Okay. Okay.
Okay, just 30 seconds on the clock.
Okay. So,
You gotta wait. I gotta say, and away we go.
This is what we mean.
Okay. Sabina.
You said 30 seconds on the clock. I thought that meant start.
And then I say, and away we go. Ready?
Okay.
And away
We
go.
So dog owners, like, they have dogs, and then they like had their dogs like come up to you and they lick you and they kind of like low-key attack you, and then they don't do anything about it because they think it's cute. They're like, oh, she likes you, and you're like dying because I'm not a dog person, you know. So like I just feel very violated after visiting their house, and I don't like that. That was over 30 seconds and you didn't call it.
It's not even 30 seconds yet.
Here's my problem with your
That's
argument.
30 seconds.
Here's my problem with your argument. You don't have to be a dog lover to fuck the shit out of a dog. If he comes attacking you, attack back.
But if I am afraid of a dog, if I am afraid of dogs, I'm not going to.
Drew, you can't be white and say fuck the shit out of a dog.
You can't say that.
Wow, I really screwed the pooch on that one, huh?
You did. A lot. Very hard.
You can kick the shit out of a dog if it comes attacking you.
But if I am afraid of the dog,
exactly,
I don't want to be around the dog.
You know, Sabina, I empathize with that because I actually hate dogs. Want to murder them. Carl has a stuffed animal, and I would slit its throat. But
oh, that's not the same thing.
Carl, but your older brother.
Look, you're listening to the wrong parts of the story.
You're right.
Whose dog recently attacked you, and why didn't you break its neck?
Oh shit!
Well, I was at my friend's house, and he has a large dog, and the dog just kept coming up to me and licking me. And I realized that if you just don't give it any eye contact and act like it doesn't exist, it won't come up to you as much. But I didn't know that. I was just
looking staring
at it
in the eye?
No, I was just glancing at it every once in a while, and I don't know if that was like an invitation, but it was just bothering me the whole time. Just licking me all over, and I was not. Yeah, I was just low key raped.
I understand that.
I got raped by a chihuahua.
And he didn't do anything about it. He just.
I was at one of my brother's soccer games, and this chihuahua was like just walking around or whatever, and then all of a sudden I looked down and it was humping my Reeboks.
Yeah. Relatable.
Got a little dog pre-cum on my Reeboks. Had to throw them away.
Ooh.
Janae, what are these sounds you make relatable? Ooh.
Okay, so one time I went over to this guy's
Is this
house.
share our stories when we got raped by dogs time?
No, I wasn't raped, okay? I went over to this guy's house.
I wanted it.
And I was like one of his friend's house or something. We were going to fuck in his friend's house. And his friend had this big-ass pit bull. And I sit down on the couch, very kind and sweetly, just like a normal girl. Subscribe to me on YouTube. And it came up to me and punched me in the face. That dog punched me in the eyeball.
How?
He came up to me and he punched me.
So the dog jabbed
me right in the eyeball.
I wish you guys could see the arm movement
She's moving up.
It's an uppercut.
The dog uppercutted her.
Uppercutted me in the eyeball.
Was he on 2 legs or 4?
2.
Was he a boxer? What happened?
Are you sure it wasn't a kangaroo?
It was a boxer pit bull.
That happens, actually.
All the
a
time.
similar situation happened to me with a cat.
You were punched in the face.
I was actually pawed in the stomach.
Oh, doesn't compare.
But it was like, it wasn't related. But I just wanted to ask, are you guys cat people?
I hate animals. I hate animals.
Okay. Well, I'm a cat person.
I was like going to an AA meeting and being like, I too have had too much to drink on an occasion.
Her paw thing?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Honestly, when you think about like binge drinking,
It's fun.
it's like, I feel like they should up the numbers. Because binge drinking for women is like 4 drinks in a sitting.
But what kind of drinks?
Like
gallons?
That's just how I get out of bed.
gallons. Like a serving. Like 4 servings.
Can you get vegan vodka? I think that would be a great
That
market
sounds
to test.
Vodka is vegan.
Podcast
And
over.
stereo.
Cut it off. Cut it off.
Most
We're just gonna
alcohol
have to keep
is
you on
vegan.
the prayer list.
Unless it's like that chocolate wine. I've always wanted to try that.
They have
I
potato
didn't know
vodka.
that existed.
No,
Did we already have this conversation?
chocolate wine? I've never heard
potato
of
vodka.
it. No.
We had this goddamn conversation.
Janae, what's wrong with
Lorenzo. You're acting dumb tonight.
You the one that got punched by a fucking dog. Who gets uppercut by a dog?
It's a fair point. I've never been uppercutted by a dog. And
You said you were gonna kick my ass.
I talk some mean shit to dogs too, and it never equates to me getting punched.
I've grown since then.
I hope so. Like 4 inches, maybe 5.
Yes.
Hope you've grown emotionally too.
Emotionally, physically.
Okay, guys, it's that part of the week where
I'm so excited.
It's the favorite.
I'm so excited.
Segment we do this every week.
We do this every week. I'm so
Sabina,
excited.
you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's our favorite segment.
Every week.
Every
right.
week.
Continue, gosh darn it.
This is where we kick the guest off the show. No, this is when. All right, mute it. I didn't think this far ahead. I thought I would have something by the time we got here.
So this part is the best part, of course.
I'm gonna leave this in on the off chance you're lazy and don't edit it out.
Is it warm in here?
High chance.
Or is it just me? Oh.
Should we go streaking through the library?
I'm
I'm
down.
just wearing a lot of layers, maybe.
What?
All right, never mind. Just ignore me sometimes.
I really liked when we did the answer as the person next to you, but that worked with David because he goes, nigga.
But I
And
was
really
going
like
to
saying
say about cat people, I feel like you have to work a little harder with cats, and I like a challenge. So that's why I like cats better, because dogs are just like, they give it away too easy, you know?
So you're saying dogs are sluts?
Yeah.
And
they just trust
I
like
agree
very
with these
easily.
statements.
And cats, like, they're just like, you know what? I'll go to your house.
Okay, Sabina, I
and
need
live
you to
with
stop.
Right.
But
I got
I'd
it.
rather be best friends with a slut.
I got it.
Shouts out to Janae.
Thank you.
I got it. Guys, it's that time of the week. We do this every week. You guys know what it is. And it's everyone eats Janae's chips and dips their...
That's a goddamn lie. Ready, set.
y'all are very noisy eaters. He took multiple chips.
We're eating chips.
This is the best part of the episode that we do every week.
Oh my god.
Fucker.
Great segment.
That's a
That
always.
was amazing. That was the best one yet, I'd say.
Fantastic segment.
Best chip eating. Thank you, everyone.
Great segment. Yeah, let's...
What are we doing? Reader mail?
Yeah, reader mail. Drew, where can they send their questions? People at home, we answer your questions because you ask them, like always.
Just send your questions to yourlocaldumpster@gmail.com.
Is that UR or YOUR?
Great question. Thank you, listener. It's actually YOUR. Great question. Glad to have you.
Why? Oh, you are.
Bang, bang. Okay. First question, QC Skits. What do most people not notice are actually advertisements? Ooh, that's a good question. I already know
This
the answer.
podcast?
What are we advertising?
I'm
People's YouTube channels?
pretty sure it's anti-leftists.
Wait, what does
It's
that
actually
question
pro-racist.
mean?
What are things that are advertisements that people don't notice are advertisements? Like Instagram posts are advertisements.
Well, I just said
80%
one.
of the time. What do you say?
I just said one, so that's that. And then I don't know
Vending
any others.
machines.
What?
Explain the vending machine.
So, like you.
Okay,
go
you know
up-
what? I see what you're saying.
Yeah, you go up to a vending machine
made a
and
great
you
point
think
today.
you have a lot of choices, but they're really advertising their stuff to you. You may go up there wanting a Reese's, but they advertise the Snickers bar to you, and you're brainwashed.
I was thinking more so because there's a giant Pepsi sign on the side.
Or yeah, Pepsi or Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Drew?
When you go to like basketball games, there's
Okay.
always like the little ads everywhere. But when you play like 2K, there's all these billboards everywhere to make the city look real, but they're all like basketball related like brands. And like when you play My Park, like it's very frustrating because they have to make this revenue off of ads, they have to like keep you in the server that's playing all these games, so it like chugs, and it's awful because it has to like render all the games going on so they can also render the advertisement in the background.
I don't know what he just said.
He said,
I zoned out a little, but I misunderstood the question. So yeah, I'm a little lost.
Perfect. Next question. QC Skits. What screams, I have a crush on you?
I have a crush on you!
Perfect. Great answer. QC Skits. What old-timey phrase should make a comeback? Shoo!
Ew. It's not right when you do it.
I know.
Listen here, you old greasy.
Sabina, what old-timey phrase should make a comeback?
You'll have to come back to me.
Son
on
of a
that one.
whore. People used to say that in the 40s all the time, and I think it has a nice ring to it. Instead of son of a bitch,
whore.
son of a whore. I think it kind of rolls off the tongue. What do you think?
How old does it have to be? Because I was thinking 90s. Like
Oh,
the
I have
bomb
one.
diggity. I like tight. Like, oh, that shirt is so tight.
Tight's still in.
You know what's
Tight is not
what's another one from the
No.
70s? Get bent.
Get bent.
That's a nice. Like it kind of says exactly what you needed to say, and you could say that at work. You could
Wait, is it a
fool
good
your
thing or a
friends.
bad thing?
Get bent. What do you think?
Because I'm thinking it means let's do drugs.
Ah,
I didn't get that.
I think it meant
Like,
like.
get lit.
I think it meant like
lit.
get bent over.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know
okay.
how people used to say, bite me? Like it was like kind of like, fuck you. So like, yeah, that, I think, that should come back.
The eat my shorts thing. That was a thing.
Eat my shorts. That's great. Also, bomb.com.
I like.
No, I
She
think
said
that
bomb
could
diggity,
stay
and I was like,
dead.
you know
Bomb
what?
diggity.
Might have to bring it
Bomb
back.
diggity is better.
Okay. QC Skits. What's the most awkward situation you've ever been in?
There's been so many.
Right. The list.
I can't even keep track.
I know, right? I just feel like I'm constantly in awkward situations. I've been in
They
like four
become
today.
less awkward as old as you get, because then you're like, oh,
It
this
just
is
it's
just
really
life.
it becomes funny.
It
at
becomes
that point.
life, just regular days.
Me and this girl broke up and we ran into each other 4 times that day. Like right after. It was in middle school, so it doesn't really count. But that was pretty awkward.
I would have to say one of the most awkward moments is like before you're about to give a blowjob to a random stranger. It's really awkward.
Freshman year, I got
I have a
caught
solution
in
to
the
that one,
hallway.
actually.
Okay.
I have a good solution to that one. Stop giving blowjobs to strangers.
Okay.
I'm going to get back to what I was saying. So freshman year, I got caught in the hallway in my towel because we had like communal bathrooms and it was like a co-ed, floor. So
Which
there was
building?
a whole bunch of, no, it wasn't here. I transferred.
Oh,
remember?
yeah, I forgot about
Yeah, it was
that.
at A&T. So yeah, that was very awkward because I dropped my keys and I was locked out for a little bit. And yeah, I'm going to stop talking now. Continue.
Great choice. QC Skits. What's the scariest way to die? A lot of people say buried alive.
That would suck.
But is it the worst way?
I don't think that would be like the scariest or the worst.
I'd be like my leg chopped off and then I'm still like conscious.
I don't know. I think like a mass shooting or something would be awful.
I would love that. Such a community event.
Okay.
True.
Bonding,
Unifying.
really.
This is all. And then this Saturday, an awful terrorist attack is going to happen, and you'll never be able to post this.
Always happens. I don't know. I feel like imagine how close you could have, like, let's say a plane hit the building, right? You're in 9/11.
Okay.
You're on the top floors. There's no way you're getting down.
This isn't a mass shooting, but okay.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking you said terrorist attack, and I was like, man, imagine
That's
that
the
would
first thing they think of.
be. Who's they?
They.
Who is they?
Them.
You're right. Carry on. Carry on, they.
I think being stabbed is the most painful. It's not really that scary, but I don't know.
Maybe burning alive. Imagine being like like in the witch periods where they're like, oh, no. If we drown her and she comes back, then she's a witch. But if she doesn't come back, that means we
wasn't a
killed the
witch.
witch. It didn't make sense.
I think it'd suck if you got robbed and then like you're being robbed at gunpoint for like 10 minutes. It's traumatic for those whole 10 minutes. And then as soon as you're done being robbed, they just shoot you in the head. That'd suck.
They
Yeah,
say
that
that
shit
giving
sucks.
childbirth is just as painful as being burned alive. Fun
I-
fact.
Doubt that.
I can't
It's the fact.
disagree. Well, that's... QC Skits, what's something people say to justify their shitty behavior?
Sorry.
I have black friends.
Damn,
Yeah.
those are 2 great answers.
Black friends or gay friends?
Sorry, I killed your brother. I have black friends.
No, there's something people say where it's like, they're like, oh, you know who I am. You know, this is what I do. People will do the same
That's
thing.
always my excuse.
I hate it.
It works.
No, that is the worst when people are like, oh, no, I always do this. I always say this. Like, just because you always do
Doesn't
it
make it
right.
okay.
It's the worst.
I do that, actually.
Exactly, people.
No, I always rob cars.
It's just who I am.
It's just what I do.
All right, last question.
No, never mind.
What are you about to say?
Let me set
Sounded
the scene.
offensive.
Let me set the scene. Let's take you back to Jim Crow era, where people are coming to
Never
the
mind.
South and
Yeah.
say,
It's done. QC Skits. Last question, by the way. QC Skits. What was your holy shit, this is amazing moment when you became 18?
Sex.
Wait, repeat the question.
The first time you had sex?
Yeah.
Okay.
Read the question.
I made it up as I was going
What about
along.
cigars?
Oh, Jesus.
When you bought cigars?
on my 18th birthday.
Mm.
I was like, damn, I feel like an adult.
What was your holy shit, this is amazing moment when you after you turned 18? 'Cause I feel like before you turned 18, it's like, oh my God, cars move.
I think I'm still waiting for mine.
Really?
It's very sad.
Well, okay. Judge me if you want.
We already did.
We've done so many. Look,
Well,
QC,
now you have permission.
QC Skits.
We didn't need it.
Okay.
Hey, Drew, where can people look you up?
Normally I go to class on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
At around
What time?
8 o'clock.
Which building?
Fretwell. So if you want to like stare at me,
Room number.
It is on the 3rd floor, but I can't tell you anything beyond that because I don't even know.
Janae, what you got?
Subscribe to Normal Girl on YouTube. She's giving away an iPhone 8.
Is that true?
Don't subscribe
Yes.
to Normal Girl on YouTube.
Where did?
Whatever you do, don't subscribe to Normal Girl on YouTube.
Sabina, where can the people find you?
You can catch me outside. How about that?
All right, well, that's our podcast. Cut it.